you are. This is the Clara Luper radio show, and today's show is being brought to you by Rainbow, and Rainbow is good bread. Today's show is a very special one because last week Merle and Hildred declared that this was Clara Luper's day. And my part of the program is a thank you. I want to thank you for being with me through the years. As I ended my years of teaching last Friday, knowing that I have one more day in which we are to give examinations on Tuesday, I just want to say thank you. During the last week, I've been extremely busy, and I would like to thank those of you that have sent me flowers, cards, telegrams, or what have you, the last few weeks of school. I want you to know that I really appreciate my flowers while I'm alive. I would also like to thank all of the radio stations this week that have mentioned the fact that Clara Luper is retiring. I would like to especially thank KTOK for giving me the opportunity to talk about my experiences in the field of education for 50 minutes. And certainly I would also like to thank the Ebony Tribune, who has carried the story of my retirement. I've made headlines in the Tribune, and I'm very, very grateful. I'm grateful to the Daily Oklahoman when I became the first teacher to make the first page because I was retiring. I really want to thank you. I want to thank the hundreds of people that have called and wished me well. And I would like to thank my family, which extends beyond the boundaries of my immediate children and to my children all over the land. And you're going to be hearing from some of these today. I could not stop until I thank God for all of the things that have happened to me. I've been blessed, and I'm very grateful. I would like to thank the Board of Education for the reception in which all of those of us who are retiring, for the lovely citations, and tonight I would like to thank those of you that have just thought about me, to care about me. I would like to thank Mr. Jack Brines from Flint, Michigan, who has just called to congratulate me. I want to thank you. And when I tell you who's coming to my dinner tonight, it will sound like who's who in America. Thank you, Mrs. Esther Watson. I would like to thank the Neros and Jean Reed of Hoffman, Oklahoma, who now lives in Cleveland, has arrived in Oklahoma City. Mrs. Ruth Morris, the former Mrs. Ruth Tolliver, has arrived from Cincinnati, Ohio. And I didn't mean Oklahoma. I wish she was in Oklahoma, but she married and went to Cincinnati. I would like to thank the Neros, those from the Spencer area and those from Sapulpa. I would like to thank the Tuggles. I would like to thank the Boards, the Halls, the Shortridge, the Watkins, the Bakers. I could go on down the line, and I have here in my hand a beautiful gift from Joe Washington, who is in Hawaii. And Joe says that he cannot be with me tonight in presence, but he will be with me in thoughts. I would like to thank Tracy Arbor, who said, I cannot go, but I want you to take someone to represent me. I would like to thank Helen Johnson, Opie Simpson, Pearl Simpson, Marilyn Hickerson, Ruby Meadows, Fannie Mae Johnson, Joyce Henderson, Raymond Randa. And I would like to thank all of you that are coming in from McAllister, and especially the Harrises that will be here from Elmore City. I would like to thank the Richmonds, the Plunkett's, the Starks, the Browns. I would like to thank Sylvia Lewis, and I would like to thank Reverend Ross and the people at the Salem Baptist Church, Reverend Parker and the people at the St. James Baptist Church, Reverend W.K. Jackson and the people from St. John's Baptist Church. Certainly, I would like to thank all of my people from Fifth Street Baptist Church. Oh, I could go on and on, but I want you to know today that this is a thank you program from me. And I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for everything that you have done for me. Thank you. That's all I know to say. I'm from Hoffman, Oklahoma, and I'm a shepherd. My sister came in here. I called my sister, told my sister I would send for her, and she told me she's gonna call me back. But to my surprise, my sister didn't call me back. But they called me, and my sister has arrived in Oklahoma City. Welcome home, Hazel. We call you, girl. Welcome home. Today I'm really feeling good, and who wouldn't feel good if you had I have something to shout about, certainly, and I had better shout. All of my sponsors today would like to say to me, congratulations, and I would like to say to them, thank you. Thank you, Sheriff's Cleaners, Mr. and Mrs. Carlos Williams of 4905 North Martin Luther King Avenue. And those of you that need to get some cleaning, I would like to say that I want you to know that if you go to Sheriff's Cleaners, everything will be all right. That's at 4905 North Martin Luther King Avenue. I would like to thank KOCO TV for that fabulous story. They spent 2 hours out of my classroom, and I just want to thank you. And they didn't tell me they were coming, but they don't have to tell me because in my classroom, I am ready. I want to accept the congratulations from Dr. A.L. Dial and to tell you that if you need some glasses, go to 934 Northeast 8th Street here in Oklahoma City. His telephone number is 2350536.
Good afternoon, Mrs. Luper, and how are you and how are the people in radio line?
You know, I'm feeling good. I'm what you call a multi-million billionaire. And I just looked up here in the studio, and they have a story about Clara Luper all here, all up. This is really something.
Well, I wanted to get in some thanks, and I want to thank all the people that's listening to me this afternoon that I will see at 6:30 p.m. this afternoon. I want to thank you for being kind enough and courteous enough and wanting to give your thanks to a person who really put everything on the line just for us, not for herself, but for others. And I know I'm going to see them, Mrs. Luper, this afternoon at 6:30 out at the Regency Inn at the retirement dinner. And all of those who are not listening to me, I want those that's listening to me to tell them that we are thanking them also. And I really want to thank the paper, Mrs. Luper, the Daily Oklahoman, for giving you such a beautiful, beautiful write-up in the paper on Friday, May the 26th, and your picture is all right there on the front page. Can you imagine? I couldn't ever imagine you being on the front page of the Oklahoman. And the headlines in big box letters have said, one last lesson and thanks. Now, if you didn't read that article in the paper on Clara Luper's last lesson and thanks, why not go out and get the paper and read it? Because they put a wonderful, wonderful story in there, and I'm keeping mine. And it was Friday, May the 26th. So if you want to know the date to get that paper. So I want to say thanks and congratulations to you, Clara, on your retirement. And I will be seeing you tonight at 6:30. And I understand that you do have a lot of guests that have come in and a lot of guests that's been calling in. And I have had a lot of people that's called in also saying that they are coming. And we're looking to see you there in all colors and within all smiles. So is there anything that you'd like for me to do before arriving? I'd just like for you to give me a call and let me know.
Oh, Mrs. Hunter, what's wrong? You have a cold?
Oh, yeah, I can't hardly talk, so you know.
You got to talk because you told everybody you're going to talk tonight.
That's right, and this is what
I don't want you to be whispering tonight. You get something for that cold.
I've been taking something, and the lady, I went to the beauty shop, and the lady said, take this. So I came home, and I'm taking whatever anybody tells me to take. Because this voice goes, and it comes. Most of the time, it goes. So I hope by tonight I will have a voice because I really have something I'd like to share with the people that I don't think they ever will know. Because I was wondering about one specific thing, and I looked all day to find out the year. So I found out the year, so I had that my story all together.
Okay, lady, let me tell you something. You don't know how much you mean to me. Through the years, you have been a friend. And that's hard to find because I know people that pretend they are your friends, but when the rain of disappointments come, they run like rats from a sinking ship. And I just want to thank you, and I want you to know that I appreciate everything that you have done. And take care of your voice here.
I sure will.
Okay, bye-bye.
Call in and give this thing some congratulations on the phone.
Okay, bye-bye. Clara Luper, one thing about it, somebody told me, they saw me coming down the hall the other day with flowers. Why do people always send you flowers? I said, why is it people don't send you any? This is a Clara Luper radio show, and this show is being made possible by the Economy Bingo House in the Northeast Shopping Center. The Economy Bingo House run for this community, and it seems odd that people will go all over the state to play bingo with people that wouldn't buy a 10-cent ticket from you. And everything that has come up in this community, Mr. George Singer has supported it. That's at the Economy Bingo House in Northeast Shopping Center here in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Congratulations to Clara Luper comes from two outstanding nursing homes and centers. The Skyview Nursing Center, located at 2200 North Coltrane Road. The telephone number is 427-1322. Now, the Skyview Nursing Home is a home away from home. It's a home where you can rest assured that your relatives are being taken care of by professionals, not by just professionals in the sense of professionals, but those people that are professional in love and understanding and care. They see to it that you get the best food. They see to it that you have your medicine and that it's taken correctly. That's the Skyview Nursing Center, 2200 North Coltrane Road. If it's more convenient to you, you might want to go to the Terrace Gardens Nursing Home and Convalescent Center, 1921 Northeast 21st Street. Now, the telephone there is 424-1449. Now, one thing that stands out about these nursing homes is the fact that they are so clean. That's the Skyview Nursing Home Center, 2200 North Coltrane Road, and the Terrace Gardens Nursing Home and Convalescent Center. Today I'm saying thank you to all of you, and I wish I could call all of your names, Mr. Mouton, Mrs. Moore, Mrs. McLeod, Mrs. Johnson, Mrs. Lillian Rhodes, Mrs. Lucy Alexander. It's no way in the world I can call all of your names because Marilyn will be with us in a minute, and she will join me in saying thanks. Now, some of you, you know I appreciate you. I had a call this morning from Reverend Heinbrink, who's in Mill City, Oregon, who could not be here tonight, and he's sending two people that just moved to Oklahoma City from Oregon to represent him tonight. I do have a card here that I've just received and some congratulations from Mrs. Leslie E. Robinson and also from a friend of mine down in Orlando, Florida. Do you realize that in the next few weeks, all I will have to do is to take and put all my cards and my telegrams and things in condolence? And how can I say thanks to the Zeta Amici group? I'm telling you, you are something else. You are something else. And I would like to thank the Zeta Amici group for what you've done for Clara Luper. From Orlando, Florida, I have this message that's really wonderful. It comes from Mrs. Edmona E. Matthews. Clara, you have made many friends who will keep you in mind. You have done well on the job you are leaving behind. And as you retire, it's a wish you will find that your dreams for the future will come true. Well, my dream is coming true tonight. I dreamed of seeing all of my children, and they are coming home. How would you feel? I don't know. I don't know what to say about you teachers. If you've had the opportunity to teach as long as I have, and you made as many, not friends, children. I call them my children, my diamonds, my students. And I emphasize that. And I always tell my teachers, don't tell me how many kids you flunked this year, or don't tell me how many made A's in your class. I want to know how many did you save. Now, to save a child, you've got to do a lot of hard work, and you can't save a child unless you love him enough to be saved, because anybody can flunk someone. But anybody cannot make clothes like Sir Charles Taylor, located at 6225 Southeast of 15th Street here in Oklahoma City. The telephone number is 733-7600. And now, not Oklahoma City, in Midwest City. Sir Charles the Tailor. If you want your clothes tailor-made, see Sir Charles the Tailor. Well, this is a time of year that we all talk, and people do a lot of talk. But one thing you need to know is what you are talking about. And speaking of talking about, as I closed the door on room 202 on Friday, I was so proud to have been at John Marshall High School. There are a lot of great teachers out there. And I would like to salute today two young men that have put John Marshall High School on the map. I would like to salute Clyde Ellis, who happened to be one of my students, who for the 14th consecutive year has won a state track championship. Now I want to repeat that. Clyde Ellis, who graduated from Dungy High School, who has broken all of the records, thrown them away because he has done it. I would also like to salute my co-worker, Charles Davis. When I first went to John Marshall some 19 years ago, a basketball team was something that you would dream about. There was no basketball program at John Marshall High School before Charles Davis. Now you get your pencil and paper out and write that down so you will know history. Because sometimes people pop up like popcorn who does not know history and try to change things. Before Charles Davis went to John Marshall High School, now I know I was there, we did not have a football program. I have seen him take young men and take them to state championships. And he took a young man that other people had written off the books, Tracy Moore. And today Tracy Moore is playing professional basketball. Not only that, Tracy will soon be marrying one of the cheerleaders. Now that's something. Mr. Charles Davis, for the past years that I have been at John Marshall, I have seen him develop young basketball players into men. Now look at that record. Now I would hate to be caught with my pants down of misunderstanding about what a coach is supposed to do. And sometime, maybe I can sum it up like this. One time my son, Calvin Luper, was playing basketball for the YMCA. Samuel Cornelius was the coach. And one day I went up there like an expected mother, expecting him to play. And Cornelius had him on the bench. And then I saw Cornelius put him in, and he put him in for a minute. And Calvin missed that basket so far, it was unbelievable. And Samuel Cornelius took Calvin, put his arms around him, and pointed at the basket, and then put him on the bench. Now, there are a lot of parents that say, the coach should play my son. Don't you be ridiculous. So when Cornelius told me what had happened, I realized that he was a coach, and I had had no training in that area, but I did see with my own eyes Calvin missing the basket, and that's what counts. Now, as we talk and as we run our miles, remember there are those of us that have attended the game. And I know Mrs. Pamela Thomas, the principal of John Marshall High School, should be proud of Clyde Ellis and Charles Davis. Now, if she's not proud of them, then I will have to question what you want out of education, and certainly I'm in a position where I can question it. No one has to worry about where Clara Luper stands on issues. And if I've made you angry today, good. Don't attend my celebration tonight. Because if you are angry, don't attend it. Because tonight, if you would say something about Clara Luper among all of my students, my friends, my divers, you would be in some serious trouble. Luella Henderson has just flown in from Los Angeles, California, and I'm really proud. And Phoenix Meadows has arrived from California. Maurice Park is on his way. Now I'm going to ask about twins, Wilder and Wonder, who must be out there somewhere in radio land, to call me. I want to hear their voices. They are here from Dallas and Plano, Texas. I want to hear your voices before I see you tonight. Yes, my children are coming home tonight. The Carrs, the Meadows, the Roaches, the Lears, the nephews, the Normans, the Arnellos, the Grahams, and I could go on, but I will not. Rather, Shelley is all ready with the specials for today. On Clara Luper's Day, I would like once again to thank you. But the moment has come now in our broadcast where we must pause for the funeral and death announcements. People need to, and we would like to express our sincere sympathy to all that lost friends or relatives this week. Well, tonight is my night, and certainly I would like to say a special hello to the Kimbros. The telephone number is 424-5080. That is if you want your child involved in a musical program. Luper radio show, and this show is being made possible by our sponsors. How can you help in this situation? Support our sponsors because they are making this program possible. Thank you, Senator Miles. Thank you, Reverend W.B. Park, and all the people at the St. James Baptist Church. I don't know how many tables you all have tonight, but my last count, there was about 5 tables of St. James Baptist Church. Thank you so much. I'll be so happy at 6:30 just so I can get to see all of you. It is so exciting. And speaking of excitement, I would like to ask my daughter Shelley, my granddaughter Alicia, how do you feel about tonight? How are you? Here's Alicia first.
I feel so excited of this because it is a nice celebration for Mrs. Luper, and I think that is wonderful for her kids and her relatives and her diamonds to give her a retirement dinner.
Oh, that's wonderful. Now, that was Alicia Hildred.
I'm so elated that my mother will be honored tonight for her retirement. I wish her well in the endeavors that she decides to take on after retirement. She has touched the lives of so many people, and it's wonderful for them to come together and pay tribute to her.
Shelley, how did you feel today when you saw your big brother, Joseph Hill, the honorable attorney from Saipan, CM, get off of that plane? How did you feel?
I was so excited to see someone who lived in another country and with a different type of culture. And I also saw some Japanese people there, and it was just fascinating to see him talking to them, and their culture was so different.
Oh, what was so different about it that you noticed offhand?
They were very respectful to their elders, and they were very polite, and they were a different type of people. They were very humble.
Well, thank you, Shelley. But this is the Clara Luper radio show, and I have one of my children from Dallas, Texas. Wanda.
Well, good afternoon.
Wanda, you have made it here in Oklahoma City.
And I'm so glad to be here. I'm calling to say congratulations for a job well done.
Now, for fear somebody out in radio land is not listening, what are you doing here?
I'm here for the Clara Luper Retirement Show.
Okay, I know you were one of my diamonds out at Dungee. I need a report on you. You graduated from what college?
I graduated from Southeastern State University in 1970. I am now teaching elementary in Plano, Texas, where I'm becoming an administrator.
Where you're becoming what?
An administrator. I'm going to be a...
Now, look here. I know in Texas you have to take a test before you can teach. Did you pass the test?
I passed the test in flying colors the very first time.
Oh, I'm so proud of you. And you are here tonight.
I'm here to help celebrate your retirement.
I hope you are aware tonight that there's a place on the program for you and my other diamond. Aren't you excited about it?
I can't wait.
Oh.
I have plenty to say.
Oh, well, I'm sure glad. I really want to listen because I've told all of my children that I want my flowers while I live. And I want something to hear what people think about me because when I'm dead, I don't want Marilyn and Geraldine and Calvin and Alicia and all of them sitting up there crying when you say something about me and I just have to lay there.
Yeah, that's right. You need to hear everything that we have to say. It's wonderful.
Well, I want to hear tonight. I can hardly wait. Where is Wilda?
She's right here.
I need
Can't
to
wait to talk.
Okay. That's my queen, ladies and gentlemen. Wilda?
Yes.
You are still my queen. I never shall forget when you were in that fabulous class at Dungee School where we won everything.
Yes, we did.
I want to know, are you still winning?
Yeah.
What kind of occupation are you in?
I'm in the mortgage lending business.
Now, you're talking words. I'm from Hoffman, Oklahoma. And when you're talking about mortgage lending business, what are you talking about?
Approving and rejecting people to buy homes.
You do that?
Yes, I do.
Where?
In Plano, Texas.
In Plano, Texas. Do you have an office of your own?
Well, yes, I do.
Oh, tell me just about a day in the life of Wilder.
Well, it starts about 8 o'clock in the morning. I take loan applications. We process the loans, underwrite them, and tell the people that they have a new house and they can start packing.
All right. What are you doing in Oklahoma City today?
I came to Clara Luper's retirement program.
Oh, I'm so excited about it. You came all the way.
Just for that.
You came to here just for the Clara Luper program.
For the program.
And you're here from Plano, Texas.
That's right.
Well, I can hardly wait tonight to hear you speak because as angry as I used to make you, I was scared.
Yeah, boy. I have a lot of things to say.
I never shall.
Nice thing.
I never shall forget you and a raisin in the sun. Do you remember that?
Yes, that's one of the things I was going to touch on.
Oh, really? And then when you became my queen, when we beat Mrs. Nancy Davis and all that crowd, that was really exciting.
It really was exciting. We had a good time.
Well, I'm
Really
real proud of you, and you don't know what you all have done for me.
Well, you've done a lot for us.
Well,
That's the reason we're where we are now.
Well, I want to say thank you, and I'll see you this evening.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye. This is a Clara Luper radio show. Yes, be sure to tell those of you that I have taught, be sure and tell people that I was your teacher. Did you hear me? Oranges and cars and Douglases and extras and Grusus and Arkansons and Abersons. I was your teacher. Ladies and gentlemen, we have in here the young lady that took on the responsibility of putting a retirement dinner together, and that is Marilyn Hildrich. Marilyn, I'm so happy to see you today, and you want this microphone, you can take it, but let me say it one more time where those of you in radio land can hear it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Last Saturday, I had the opportunity to sit and talk to you and tell you that I declared today Clara Luper's Day in the USA. And this is exactly what it is. I received telephone calls from hundreds of you, and hundreds of you have called me again. First, I want to say thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for loving Mrs. Luper, taking out your time and energy, those of you who cannot attend, to say that your prayers and thoughts are with her. And to those of you that are coming tonight, so many of you from all over the world, I just want to say thank you. I want to say thanks before I go any further, because somewhere along the line, someone told me you didn't have to do it, but you sure did. And God has been really good to us, because when man closes a window, God has a way of opening the door. So I would like to thank everybody for the press coverages, and if you saw the special that KOCO did, and if you heard Mrs. Luper on KTOK, and on and on and on, I'm really proud and really thankful. Okay, Shelley, let's go with Clara Luper's Day in the USA. What do you think about Clara Luper? What do you think about Clara Luper? I have one of her students here, one of the Dungy students, better known as Geraldine Carr. I want to know, come here, Geraldine, come and talk about Mrs. Luper now. I want to know, what do you think about Clara Luper? Tell me everything you always wanted to say.
Thank you, Marilyn, for this opportunity. Clara Luper is one of the greatest, courageous black women that I've ever had an opportunity to meet. She's a woman that has laid a foundation for many of us ladies and have paved the way for many of us. And we're just grateful for this lady. And I'm so grateful that I've had a part in her great celebration. But as we know, this is just the beginning for her to truly live. As I so often have said to Mrs. Luper, you can look back. You don't have to do anything else after tonight, because you have so much to reminisce and so many beautiful lives that you have touched through the power of God. So I just said congratulations, and we're looking for all the gang tonight to help celebrate one of the greatest ladies that I've had an opportunity to meet. Again, thanks, Miss Luper, for such a great foundation.
All right. Now I want to share all of you to share some of these letters that we received this week. Last week, we took out a little time to do so, but I think it's so important. It's so important because you thought so much of us. to take time out and to send us a letter. And we would just like to share it with the radio listening audience. Geraldine, you grab some. Shelley, grab some. Alicia, let's share it with them. Dear Mrs. Luper, congratulations. I can't see your retirement marking the end of your professional career. I can only visualize it as a mark of another chapter in your continuous challenge for the injustices of our society. I am grateful for the challenges you offered me as my homeroom teacher at Dungee School. Challenge really don't know how much we love people until we realize that they aren't going to be with us anymore. So as we enter the Miss Black Oklahoma pageant period, we will remember George Singer, a member of the team, a worker, a member of the team. George Singer's funeral will be on Tuesday at 2 p.m. at Temple's Funeral Home. No one has the details of what happened, but it seems awfully funny to me that AmCare would pick up a man that was bleeding and couldn't figure out that he had been shot. It seems funny to me that at the hospital they couldn't realize what had happened. But after all, you must remember that I'm from Hoffman, Oklahoma, and I can't understand things as well as some other people. This has been an exciting week, and I would like to take this opportunity to thank you, Oklahoma City, thank you, Oklahoma, thank you, California, Texas, Kansas, Ohio, and Florida. Thank you, Virginia. Thank you, Saipan. Thank you for furnishing the ground for those that came to the Clara Luper retirement dinner to walk on. It was beyond all of our expectations. And I can say this with a deep feeling that I have never seen anything like it. And to all of my diamonds, wherever you are, I know you're shining. But I just want to say thank you to each one of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And we will be talking about that the rest of our lives. We will be talking about the fact that you took off time from your busy schedule, that you came to my retirement dinner. That is just unbelievable. You thought enough of me to go down in your pockets and buy tickets to come to my dinner. You thought that much of me. Now, I know I've always loved you, and I love you so much, but just to think that you loved me enough to buy every plate, so completely out, and had to turn people down. You did it. I want to say thank you, and certainly I would like to know what you thought of the retirement dinner, and I would like to thank that committee. Marilyn says she was a chairperson of that committee. Thank you, Marilyn, and thank all of you. It doesn't make any difference what you did. I want to thank you. Even if you just say Clara Luper's dinner will be Saturday night, I want to thank you. I want to, and I pray to God that I don't know what will happen to me, but there's one thing that I don't want God to let happen to me. Don't let me forget. Don't let me forget the people that have made it possible. And talking about making it possible, my longtime friend, Ruth Tolliver Morris now, came from Cincinnati, Ohio for the big dinner. And I was so proud of her, but maybe I should be even prouder of her husband. I should be proud because her husband told her that although you have just left Oklahoma City, you can fly back to be with your friend, Clara Luper. Ruth Tolliver came home to be with me. How can I say thank you, Ruth? You've always been there when I needed you. You have always been there. Thank you, Ruth Tolliver. Thank you, Jean Montgomery, who flew in from Cleveland, Ohio. Thank you, Gladys Elliott, that spoke on behalf of that fine graduating class with 5 members. And thank you for telling everybody that I was a leader. You're right, I was a leader. I led you to the sheep shower patch. I led you to find some wild berries. You're right. Thank you, everybody. But now it's Miss Black, Oklahoma time. And when we think of Miss Black, Oklahoma, we must think of the future Miss Black, Oklahoma. And here on the telephone is Cheryl Fowler, who is a coordinator for the PAGE program for Miss Black, Oklahoma. Cheryl?
Hi, Miss Luper.
Cheryl, I'm really fine. First, I want to ask you, what did you think about that Clara Luper retirement dinner?
Oh, that was one of the greatest dinners I've ever attended. I mean, it looked like it was over 500 people there, and everybody was so amazed at how the program was carried on and the testimonies that were given. And it wasn't like a funeral. It was comical, it was serious, and everyone really appreciated it. I know I did. And the people dressed for the occasion, and they were just really there to celebrate one of the Oklahoma's most prominent women.
Well, I sure like to hear that, and I got a letter from Mr. and Mrs. Fowler from Guthrie, Oklahoma this morning. And do you know what they say to me?
What did they say?
Clara, I am so proud of you, and I want you to know that I'm proud of them. I am really. You're talking about being proud of someone. I'm proud of the Fowlers, the Davises. I can go on down the line. I'm proud of all of you.
Well, we certainly are proud of you.
And tell the audience about that reception that you gave, that you were on the committee with Dolly Turner.
At John Marshall High School, where you really will be retiring. We won't see your face there anymore, and you really will be missed. But as we had to go on, we planned a reception, and I mean, the decoration was out of sight. Our color scheme was red and blue, and of course we had bears in your floral arrangement. And you had several guests there.
Yeah, my pastor was there, Reverend Elkins.
Right.
And Reverend Parker from St. James.
Your sister from California.
Yes, Hazel Tuggle.
And your children and friends. And you even had a young man you had taught there from Saipan. He also came to witness the John Marshall reception.
Yeah, he flew in here from Saipan, and I couldn't even read his ticket. He left Saipan and went to Guam, and from Guam to Tokyo, Tokyo to Seattle, Seattle into Memphis, and on to Oklahoma City to see his teacher.
He was really proud. I mean, he was glad he had been part of Mrs. Luper's graduating class from Dundee.
Well, I'm proud of him. He has an office in Saipan where he practiced law in 3 languages, Chinese, Japanese, and English. Okay, we could talk about that dinner on and on, but tell me about the PAGE program. And I know the PAGES will be coming into Oklahoma City on June 11th, and we'll be here until June 17th, and that's the date of the 1989 20th annual Miss Black Oklahoma pageant.
You're exactly right, and we have pages this year from Ardmore, Oklahoma, and I'll call their names first, but let me talk about the PAGE program a little bit. The PAGE program was started 6 or 7 years ago, and the purpose of this program was to promote positive images for the young girls coming up 5 years through 16 until they are ready to participate in the pageant. And the pageant program provides the young girls, like I said, with a positive role model. It also acquaints them with the role of the real world of competition. And also it teaches them self-projection, modeling poise, it's self-esteem, every bit. So let me call the names of the pages from Ardmore, Oklahoma. We have possibly 6 from Ardmore, and they are Katisha Stevenson, Stephanie Woody, Natasha McGee, Shaquita Peters, Lachey Harden, Shamisha Haynes. And of course, we have several young ladies from Oklahoma City that participated in the Miss Black Oklahoma City pageant. And I'd like to call their names first. We also have what you call 3 different levels of pages, because we try to have the same girls in each year so we can build on their character and their self-esteem and whatever. And we have the senior pages, and let me call the senior pages: Shelley Luper, Shardina Fowler, Alicia Hildreth, Ebony Hood, Nicole Mitchell, Natay Patterson. I think that's it on the senior pages. Then we have what we call the intermediate pages. Tiffany Boyd, Katrina Maynard, Yolanda Ogle, Vanetta